Okay, welcome back. I'm Steve Graves from the Geography Department, and this is the second part of the video tutorial for lab regarding using Google Maps to measure distances on the Earth's surface. So when we last left off, you were measuring um, the area of the Oviatt lawn in front of the Oviatt Library. And this next section, you will be shown how to use some online tools provided again by Google to convert units from metric to standard English to metric, and then how to do a few simple calculations using Google's calculator tool. So what I'll do here is start out by measuring the parking lot just south or on the southwestern corner of campus. It's much like you have done already. I'll start with a right click, select measure distance from the drop down menu. I'm going to click once, twice, 3 times, and then back. And over here in the upper left hand corner I have some figures. One is the area of the enclosed rectangle. It says something like 413, almost 414,000 square feet, and the distance of the perimeter 2,572 feet. And those are nice and useful. They also have a metric conversion already listed. If you want to sort of flip-flop those and make the metric the primary one and the standard English units of measure secondary, down in the lower right-hand corner you can click on the scale bar. Once, if you click it, the scale bar will change to metric. If you click it again, it will go back to standard English, and you see the results here in this box. But for the moment, what we're going to do is I'm going to copy or highlight, copy this 413,993.77 square feet. I'm going to click on a new tab. It's going to open up Google, and hopefully it'll appear here. I'm going to paste, and notice up in the URL window it has pasted in that area measurement. So this is 413,000 square feet, and I've added square feet. By putting an equal sign at the beginning of this entry, Google recognizes that I'm seeking perhaps a conversion. I'm going to press enter, and Google's unit converter shows up here in the top window. Some of the questions that you're going to be asked to do is to convert square feet to square meters. And if we look over here, we notice that this square meters figure is really quite similar to the one that shows up here in the Google converter. But what if we wanted to know something different? Perhaps we wanted to know acres. By selecting from the drop-down menu, I can get acres, square yards, square feet, square inches, or some of the metric units like square kilometers or hectares. These go in both directions, and while we're here, note that we can change a number of metric and English units to each other. We can convert them using this tool. So earlier in the lab you had length rather than areal measurements, and those are featured here as well. Okay, so you will measure the oviat lawn and use the unit converter a bit to answer a handful of questions. So go ahead and do that. You may pause now. Okay, hopefully you're back and you answered those questions well. Now, the next part of this lab is that we're going to do something called ground truthing. And in ground truthing, what you're doing is trying to determine the accuracy of the measurements of a remote tool like Google Maps, it's remote sensing, and the accuracy of the measuring tools. So in order to do that, what you would like to do, ideally, is to pick a very well-known measure of unit on the ground, and in this case it's going to be a football field. So what I want you to do is to type in Chaminade High School, Chaminad, you see in the upper hand corner, and it should recognize something nearby, but you can put Canoga Park or West Hills, probably Canoga Park, California, and click Find, and it should take you to recenter the map at Chaminade High School. Zoom in on the field, and I picked this field because of the outlandish colors and the ease of which you can see the corners. Zoom in close and begin measuring the perimeter of the field. Be sure that you click just inside the corners of the end zones. So where my pointer is now is a good place to right click, click measure distance, and then you can grab and pull across. Is your first distance, and a regular click here in the corner of the end zone, and begin answering questions. You will complete the entire perimeter of the field as we did earlier with the oviat lawn, and then you will answer a few questions regarding the accuracy of Google Maps as a tool for measuring area and distance. Once you've done that, you can come back here, but for now we'll have you pause the video and complete this task and answer those questions. Okay, hopefully you measured the football field and have a better understanding of the accuracy of this measure. You've done some ground truthing. The last thing we're going to measure here in the valley is a much larger area, a neighborhood. So for the first step in this process, type in Tampa/Nordhoff and press enter. Should recognize that you are looking for an intersection in Northridge, California. And it's going to pop up, and this is the intersection of Tampa and Nordhoff. It's a block or so from campus. And what I want you to do is to zoom in on the very center of the intersection, right click. You may have to clear the measurement if you still have measurements going on over at the football field. Clear that. Right click, select measure distance, and what you're going to do is to scroll north, to move north on the map until you get to the first major street. And I'm going to have to zoom out a little bit because I'm going too slowly. And that first major street is Plummer. And right here you will click once again and you will answer a question about the distance between Nordhoff and Plummer Street along Tampa. So click here, answer a question. You will once again move north. You will pan north to the next major street along Tampa Avenue. The next major intersection is Lassen, Lassen. And my video is rendering very slowly here on campus. But here it is, and you will click yet again once in this intersection, precisely in the middle, and then record the distance that you get. You will answer a question, and then you will move over a couple of blocks to the east, measure again a distance between the corner of Lassen and Tampa, now to Lassen and Reseda, which is this intersection right here. You will zoom back out and then refocus on the corner, the intersection of Reseda and Nordhoff. Here very close to campus, there's the McDonald's there that's near campus. And then you will complete, or the rectangle, by clicking for the now fifth time, but completing the rectangle back at the corner of Tampa and Nordhoff. You will answer a handful of questions and then you will be finished with this section of the lab measuring a neighborhood. You will be asked to convert the area measurement that you came up with, and then you will do a calculation. In order to use the calculator, you can just Google the word calculator. Oh, there it is, calculator. And you can do a series of calculations in here. You may do any sort of calculation, maybe not all of them, but quite a few of them, but it's here, it's available to you, and you don't have to have a separate calculator, even though you may want to. So if I wanted to divide something like 16,000, click on divide, and by 100, something like that, click equals, and I have an answer. And that's another little tool that this lab hopes to introduce you to, so you may use it in subsequent labs or perhaps elsewhere. This marks the end of this portion of this video tutorial. There will be one final one for the global measurement, and you can come back and finish that later.